Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Carolyn. Today I have another collective reading for you. If you were drawn to watch this collective reading, it means that there's a message in it for you. This video was meant to find you for a reason. If you're not drawn to watch this reading, that's okay. Not every reading is for everyone. I do have a collective reading playlist that I'll have linked in the cards above so you can find the message that is meant for you. And so I want you to take a moment and look at the card in front of you along with the malachite crystal. And I want you to sit with the energy that you have in front of you and allow your intuition to guide you if there's a message here for you. You can pause this video for as long as you need to meditate and sit with that question, but once you feel like this is the right message for you, hit play and continue to watch it through. So this reading is for my change makers. Those of you where you feel like you're causing destruction, that you're causing changes to your life or to the collective. This could be something where it has to do with like your friends or your family, but it could also be bigger, and part of your life's purpose in this lifetime is to create change, and through change you have to destroy what is already there in order to allow a transformation. And so you might feel like you have this bulldozing energy about you where it's like everything in life, like you always find a way to change it, you always find a way to adapt it, and that can make it where other people don't like you, where they have negative opinions of you. But honestly, you're changing things for the better. You're changing your life for the better. And so just because you have people stuck in their ways, stuck in their tradition, who don't see how you're making things progress forward, it doesn't mean that what you're doing is bad. And so this reading is to show you how you can use this change maker energy for your life's purpose in a way that's productive for you and help guide you on your journey as you create this change. And the reason you have the malachite crystal here is because this is really going to help your energy. If you are someone where you do crystal work and you don't have malachite, go ahead and get you some, because this crystal helps bring healing into your life, but it also helps give you the action you need in order to go through with it and create solutions for yourself, because the stone brings creativity into our lives. And so that allows you to be flexible, to adapt to things, to see the potential of things. You can't create change if you're not creative, because it's something that you're carving out for yourself. And so if you're creatively blocked, you're never going to see that vision of the future. You're never going to have that inspiration to push forward. And so this crystal is really going to help you hone in on your visions and allow you to be more direct and deliberate when you execute them. So I'm going to put it off to the side here for now, and I'm going to move this up. And I have two different tarot decks that I want to shuffle for you today. We have Tarot in Space, and we have the Prism Tarot. And I want to see what messages you get from each of them, because they have very different energies with the ways that I interpret them. And I want to see how they kind of play with each other as we tune into what you're supposed to create change within your lifetime. Got a lot of jumpers. The Nine of Comets reversed, Ace of Planets, Ten of Rockets reversed, and the King of Planets. The back of the deck energy is the Two of Lasers. I'm gonna pull from the Prism Tarot now. Judgment, Three of Swords reversed, Strength reversed. So to me, it feels like growing up, there were certain expectations that were placed on you. Like you were supposed to have this specific career, you were supposed to meet this person and marry them, you were supposed to have kids by a certain age. And it feels like you're not meant to follow that plan anymore. And it feels like there's been a lot of pressure on you to follow that plan. I feel like there could be a lot of pressure from your family, but also from your inner self. Like that child you who wanted these goals, who thought your life was mapped out, there feels like there's a lot of judgment with yourself for not achieving this, for not going for it. Or those of you who are still in the process of trying to make that dream a reality, you're struggling with it. You're struggling to figure out how you can manifest that. And the reason you were drawn to this reading today is because you're not meant to have that life, that goal, that aspiration that you wanted. That dream's not yours, even if you think it is. It's been ingrained or indoctrinated by you from other people's beliefs around you. It's what they want for you. It's not what you want for yourself. It's not what your soul wants. It's what you think is going to protect you. It's what you think is going to lead to a good and happy life. But you're not going to be happy that way. And the reason I say that is because the Nine of Comets is reversed. That's your dreams. That's your wishes. That's your hopes. And so to have that reversed, it's like, okay, it's not what you thought it was going to be. Your expectations are putting too much onto this goal instead of putting that onto you. And with the 10 of Rockets reverse, that's responsibility, that's pressure, that's putting things on your shoulder that you simply cannot take anymore. There's a lot of pressure on you. There might be a lot of pressure in your life to succeed. And this isn't to say that you won't succeed, but the way you're going about it, you won't. That's why you're drawn to be a change maker, because the way you're going about things, the way that other people go about things, while the end result might not be bad, it's not what they're meant to do. There's another way, there's another solution. And that's what you're meant to see. Because with the Ace of Planets and the King of Planets, right now in your lifetime, you are going to be divinely protected. You are going to have amazing finances. You are going to have your dream job. And you're going to be able to manifest every material item that you want. I definitely feel like you're meant to achieve great success in this lifetime, because that Ace of Planets starts the planet or the pentacle suit, and the King of Planets finishes that. And so it's coming full circle for you. There's going to be an opportunity in your life for you to change things, to reject the status quo and go for something that brings financial opportunities into your life. It opens that doors for you where you're going to be very well known. That King of Planets is someone who's easily recognized and has a lot of success because they're diligent, because they're dedicated. So it's not to say that this success is going to be easy, but it is confirming for you that you are meant for greater things. You are meant for more than you were setting your sights on. And it could be that this goal that you've always had in your life, the reason you're not meant to get that, or the reason you're meant to resist that, is because it's going to make you settle. Sometimes we think that our greatest success can only be so high. We peak it for ourselves. We reach that ceiling and we accept that is the most that we are ever going to do. You have so much more power than that. You have the power to change your life for the better. You have the power to get more than that, to deserve more of that, to be worthy of more than that. And so this inner judgment you have for yourself right now of resisting this current path for you, of changing your ways, of not wanting it, I feel like there might be judgment because you should want it. But the thing is, you should want more. And that's what you're going to get. It's different, and so therefore it's scary, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. You have the Three of Swords and the Strength card reversed. These are cards that represent an energy of healing. And there's a lot of vulnerability you have to have with yourself right now when it comes to what you're doing and the plans you have set in motion. Some of you, I feel like you could be engaged or dating someone that is truly not right for you, but you think that they check all these boxes. And so everything in you, society-wise, is telling you, stay with this person, they're a good person. But it feels like they're a good person, but they're not good for you. Like they're not who you're meant to be with. And so you're kind of settling down with them, by continuing on with this relationship because you should. And just because other people tell you you should doesn't mean you actually should. It feels like because of the judgments from other people, from yourself, from your family, you're following through with things that is not actually meant for you. And that's where you're being told right now to be a change maker. That's why you have that inner calling in yourself, and you've just never known the right way to implement it. And it's because it has to start with your own mind frame when it comes to your life and your plan. I feel like a lot of you, when you started this reading, you thought it was like a change maker, as far as like, I'm going to change this for other people. But that change has to start with yourself. If you don't change your own life, how can you ever change anyone else's life? So I'm going to pull some more oracle cards. Beaver Moon, Creation, card 39. Like I was saying with that malachite stone, there's a lot of creation for you right now. You have runes, perception, and fire, spontaneity. The back of the deck is aura, observation. And so I actually have some runes, and I'm going to go and pull one of them for you. So you have one, Joe, and this is a rune that talks about success, of victory. It is a rune that represents your ability to win and your ability to be lucky with things in life. And I feel like this is indicating to you, it's confirming that success that I told you you're going to have in life. You're going to be able to get what you want. And so don't be afraid to make changes in your life right now because you're afraid that it won't lead to the success that you want. It's going to be different success, but you're still going to get it. You're going to be okay. You're going to be secure. If you're stressed about not being protected, you're being told right now you will be protected. And so your perception with this rune energy needs to change what the current situation is. You need to be more spontaneous with this fire energy. In order to create change, you have to say yes to more opportunities that arise for you. You have to be willing to seize that opportunity, seize that moment. And with that beaver moon energy, create with it. You have card 6, Virgo, digest. The back of the deck energy is the sun. So your sun sign could be Virgo. If so, this reading is even more confirmation for you. If not, that's okay. The sun represents the identity that we hide behind. It represents the energy of us that we put out to the world, or that we like to think we put out to the world. In a lot of ways, the sun is our mask, because think of the sun. It is something that everyone sees, everyone takes notice of, but you can't look at it for too long. And so because of that, it's something that we shield ourselves with. It's like the first line of defense for ourselves before people get to know our true self. They have this perception of us, and that is because of the sun's energy. And so with Virgo, this card talks about digest. And so there's a lot that needs to be processed here. There's a lot that you have to examine in your life, and there's a routine in which you need to be a little bit more open to. When it comes to this new opportunity, you need to be more perceptive and receptive to mundane tasks. And I don't mean mundane in a negative way. What I mean by mundane is that your greatest success starts with your ability to break it down to the smallest first step and to take that action, to do it, to not become overwhelmed, but instead digest it into easy bite-sized pieces for you to then proceed forward with. It feels like there's going to be some opportunity coming up in your life that's not going to seem all that crazy, but it's going to feel right for you. And the reason it's going to feel right for you is because it is. It's that first stepping stone into creating that change of your life. In order for you to transform, you have to start small. You have to start with that first step in front of you. Card 49, 11th house, community. I feel like by changing your own life, you're going to be able to be an example to other people in your community. And when I say community, this could be your community, but it also means like your close friends, your family, like the people who are important to you. You can inspire them. And this also indicates to me there could be some use of social media to inspire others by. And so it feels like you have to start by changing your life, by going for what feels right for you instead of what you've conditioned yourself to want. And by doing that, it feels like you're going to grow a lot more as a person. You're going to learn a lot more important lessons that you then can share with others. It almost feels as if like you're going to be this child walking into something new, absorbing all these lessons, and then by the time you're done, by the time that you've understood more, after a couple years into this change and development, you're going to grow up basically, and that's when you can then go and educate others. You can open up to them, you can be vulnerable with them, you can share your wisdom, and then you will no longer be that child student. You will have become the teacher. You're going to be able to help others figure out what is truly right for them versus what society or other people have conditioned them to want. You got the Aries card, Act. And what I love about this, Aries is that child. To me, it's the first zodiac. And so it's that child who's going to be independent. You know, if you are the first child, you are the one who has to go through all these milestones basically on your own. You don't have an older sibling to guide you, to teach you. And so you have to be that change maker in a lot of ways. Aries is a ram for a reason, okay? It has its horns and it's going to go headfirst into a situation. It can be a little bit of a stubborn energy, but there's something something endearing about someone who is just authentically themselves. And I feel like that's who you're becoming. I feel like it's almost like you have to shed your current skin right now. It feels like when it comes to what you actually want out of life, you've been very shy about it. You've been very resistant to get it. And it's because you're not fully committed. You have to stop thinking about what the younger you wanted, or even what the yesterday you wanted, and focus on what you actually want and just go for it. Just commit. Even if you just want to give yourself a year timeline to fully commit and say, you know, if I don't see any progress, I won't continue through, but I owe it to myself to prove it to me. That's what you need to do, because it almost feels like there's other people in your life you have to be a leader for. There's people in your life who won't change their ways. They won't change their behaviors because they're too afraid to. And so you have to have that inner courage to not be afraid for yourself, to show them it's okay, to be spontaneous, to go for it, and to create that path for others. It feels like this is so much more than yourself, but it starts within yourself with your own life, so that you can understand what it's like to go through this process. You understand the fears and the reservations that people have. You understand what it's like. You're relating to them, where you're not just preaching to others while never going through it for yourself. You're guiding them because you have done it yourself and you did it alone. You have card 56, progressions, card 31, Juno, partnership, card 38, a moon, Koli, I think is how you say it. It's the root. Card 14, debilitated, discomfort. Card 39, first house, arrival, another Aries energy of the self. And card 55, transits, climate. I'm going to move these so you can see them a little bit more. So that Aries energy is prevalent for you. That first house is the house of the self. It is your identity. It is who you are. It is how you show yourself off to the world. With arrival, it's like, here I am. Like, this is who I am, and this is what I want. This is what I'm going for. And you can either accept it or not, but I'm going to carve my own path. I'm going to be successful despite what other people say. Because it feels like a lot of the people in your life who have pushed a certain life path onto you, it's not like they want to make you feel bad or they want to force you to things that's not authentic. They're telling you this because this is what they think you need in order to have a good life. And so it's not malicious. It's that their own fears are blocking them from the potential that you have. And with progression's journey, this represents who you are stepping into, who you are becoming. Progressions in astrology represent the progression of us, who we are meant to evolve into. From the time of our birth, as that progression changes, so do we. That's when we develop. That's when we grow. That's when we become a better person. And so that's representing what you're supposed to do right now. You're progressing into this new version of yourself. With the partnership card, this means that there's going to be some partnership in your life. Now, some of you, this could be your spouse, but it could also be platonic for you, or this could be a very close friend or a sibling in which, like, you're trying to protect. You're trying to watch out for them, and by changing your life, you're going to make sure that they don't have to face these same challenges as you. Instead of having to struggle with no one to talk to, you're going to be there for them. With the root card, this makes me think that there is some sort of root connection to you two, where you know them, but also you are looking at your own roots, and you're looking at why you think the way you do and why you want the things you do and where it stems from in your life. A lot of this stems from childhood, and it can stem from your family. It feels like there might be generational karma, generational traditions that you were holding on to because that's what you thought you had to do because everyone else did it. So why wouldn't you also have to do it? But as you're going through this change and this discomfort, you're realizing that just because it's been done doesn't mean you have to do it. And now I'm just realizing you literally have progressions, but you also have the transit cards. So the transits are kind of like our triggers in astrology. So the way that I like to think of it is like progressions is like the slow evolvement of yourself, where it's who you're becoming, it's who you're stepping into, whereas the transits are a little bit more rapid in their energy. They're a little bit more like the triggering thing that's like poking you, and so they flare up a little bit more obviously in your life. And so the progression is who you're becoming. The transit is why you're becoming this. It's kind of those things that is poking you, that's steering you on this path to create this change. It's creating this discomfort for you. And it feels like there might be a period where you're stepping into this energy in which you really question like what you're doing, if it's worth it, if you're going to be able to do it, where you doubt yourself. There's going to be a lot of doubt you face on this path when it comes to this new goal in your life. But if you sit with that discomfort, you will arrive where you need to be. You have Sagittarius, expand. So it really feels like this change, while it's going to affect you financially and allow you to achieve financial success, it feels like this goal is your way of living as a being. What you have been told is correct, what you have been told is good, what you've been told is proper for you to do. And that is what you're truly changing. You're changing your core beliefs, your core identity with this first house, and this Sagittarius energy is evolving, where you're realizing who you are. You're becoming authentic instead of letting others live through you. That's why you were meant to be a change maker, because there's been so many people and examples in your life of others who are not living for themselves, but instead living for this ideal version that others want them to be. And it almost feels like you're being a little bit more selfish in this lifetime, but it's not in a bad way. You're showing people how being selfish can actually be a good thing, how it can be productive for them, how it can get them what they actually need, instead of just going with the flow of what everyone dictates is right for them. Because it's like you're setting your sights on something, you're not giving it up. You're not letting others tell you what's impossible, because it's not. You have the power to create your life for the better. This power is within you. There's nothing you can't do. There's nothing that can actually stop you. And that is the path that you're creating for others. It feels like it's time for you to reject what is no longer serving you, what is not stemming from yourself. Reflect on your life. And when it comes to your goals, for the things that you're doing, reflect on why you're doing them, if it's worth it, if it feels right for you. Like at the beginning of this reading, you allowed your intuition to tell you this was the right message for you. Do that with everything in your life. Allow your intuition to guide you if that choice is right for you. Because if it's not right for you, don't hold on to it anymore. Don't dig your heels deeper and get lost in that sunk fallacy cost, because you have sunken too much time into it. Time is something you can't get back. And so it sucks when you waste time doing something, but at least you stop that cycle before you waste more time into it. And so just be very mindful of your reasoning behind things, what your roots are, where they stem from. Do they stem from you, or do they stem from others? There's a lot of reflection that needs to go into your life right now, but there's a reason that you've been feeling like you're meant to create change in your life, and it's because you're meant to change your life. You're meant to do things that no one else in your circle has done before. You're meant to carve this path for you and show yourself and show others that it's not impossible. Going to this Virgo energy with the mundane, there's a difference between the mundane of the tasks that you want to do versus the mundane of the tasks that you don't want to do. One is gonna feel like torture versus one's gonna feel boring, but it's not gonna really affect you energy-wise. If you have been really struggling with whatever it is in your life just to get through the day-to-day of it, and it has been really affecting you mentally and emotionally, that's not the right path for you. And so pay attention to your body, pay attention to your emotions and the way that you feel, because your intuition, your subconscious will be known. It will tell you when something is right for you versus when it's not. Sometimes we don't always pay attention to it, but the psyche will always be heard. And so listen to your subconscious, listen to the messages of your intuition, and act accordingly. You have that Aries energy. Some of you could have very strong Aries placement, but regardless of where Aries is in your chart, you are meant to tap into that childlike energy and explore and learn things for yourself and find your own identity by experimenting, by falling down different paths and seeing what feels right for you, seeing what is authentic for you, instead of just listening to what everyone's telling you to do. That's your biggest takeaway. Live your life for you. Stop letting people tell you what to do. And so I hope this reading resonates for you. I hope that I was able to provide the guidance that you need. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below what change in your life you're going to be making. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share with others who need to hear it. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family. And I'm going to have more videos of mine linked in the cards above for you to watch next. If you want to purchase your own reading, I do sell them. You can check out my Etsy shop, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. All the ways to contact me is going to be in the description box down below. And I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Until then, bye.